Alright, now it should be working. I'll need to test this all again. B minus mid. Oh. Right. Do you want to work? B minus mid. Oh. I'll need to test this all again. Right? Do you want to work? Everything is working as it should. Let me also just really quickly test the chat. Can I see my chat over there? Why is it not showing up on screen? You know what? We will disable the chat on screen because it doesn't work right now. I don't know why it doesn't work. All I know is that it doesn't, and I can't really do anything about it. So, I mean, you all can see the chat in on YouTube, so I think there should really be a problem. Now I can actually get to explain what we're doing today. Close. So essentially what I'm doing is, over here I have an active project. Let's see if I can find the side I showed off in the preview video I uploaded a few hours ago. So over here we have the main, well, not the main entrance, they're all going to be identical, but we have a wall, then we have a labyrinth, and then we have like the courtyard and then the main castle. Within this main castle, I don't know what to put. I wanted to put a statue, but I couldn't find any schematics online, and I don't know how to make statues. So this is going to be left for later. Earlier today / last night I was live adding a lot of details here. I did I think I made most of the wall, basically just faffed about a bit. Right now I'm working on the outer wall, which, as you can see, also white. And what I've made before the stream started was essentially made the wall solid, carved out the different openings, which I will be closing a lot of them because they conflict a lot with where stuff is placed over there. I added a bit of the detailing around, not too much, not too fancy. It's not supposed to be fancy, this wall. It is, and then we need to add the inside details, and when we are done with that, then we can start adding on top, because I want something to be in each of these kind of, I don't want to call them quadrants, there are I think 24 of them in total, or 23, I can't quite remember. But essentially there are 24 openings right now, and yeah, we need to figure out what to put between all of them. So right now, again, I've already made this design. Now we just need to convert it over to the other side, which is actually pretty simple. But first we need to make sure that we start on one of these straight edges. It is literally just go here, and then I need to turn my audio down because that's deafening. And this was a mistake, apparently. Of which I do make a lot, be warned. Yeah, let's do something real quick because I'm getting tired of that. Let's say that's 63, I think. So, oh no, and. So it's an or. This one goes above. Then here we have calcite, white concrete powder, and white wool I also need to add. White wool. Then we just do like this. We make it all calcite because I am getting extremely tired of this. If we remove the calcite, we shouldn't see any more. Meaning that the roofs of each of these, yeah, does it look a little bit weird that there's just a line of calcite going through? Yes. Why didn't it work? Because there weren't any blocks. That explains quite a bit. Wait, what? That's 62, that's 63. Why didn't it work? Oh. I think that's far enough. So 63. That's what we need to set it to. There we go. Like that. That's how it should be. Again, we're gonna have this problem, but we can't just do like that. This should not be there. And then like so we have the first sort of entrance. So what we need to do is we need to make this all the way over to here. Then when we've made it over to here, we're going to copy it and basically flip it over to there. Then we're going to copy this entire quadrant and just paste it 4 times. So all we actually need to do is make an eighth of this entire thing. And then we're going to essentially copy paste it. And why we're doing that is because the symmetry is kind of the carrying thing in this type of build. Like everything here is symmetrical except for this kind of lantern thing that's going on over there. And I have been wondering whether or not to make it symmetrical. The only other thing that isn't symmetrical is the maze. But yeah, it's the same. I could not be fucked with making 2 different mazes, mostly because this is only going to be a Reddit post and a short video on YouTube. It's not going to be anything major. I'm not going to be making a big deal out of a build like this. This has taken me, what have I worked on? How long have I worked on so far? About 15 hours or so. So yeah, it's not because it's like the biggest. Anyway, let's just get to placing all of this, and then we are going to be, once we reach that other side, it's, wait, did I do over here? That's how it's supposed to be. Also, yes, I do apologize for the fact that you can hear my keyboard in the background. I do not have a good microphone, and I don't have a professional setup. So if you have a problem with that, sue me. So let's just make it a lot easier on myself. Heyo, how are you? It's been a while since we last talked. Yeah, I know it's you. There aren't many gremlins in my life, so it's quite easy to recognize the ones that are. Oh, no worries. But no, right now we're just kind of building for the walls for the... Let's see if I can find it again. I think it's over this way. Nope. This way? Yep. So right now we're just kind of building the walls for this. Kind of these like outer walls. The lantern work here and this kind of like crescent shaped downwards thing wall I did on a stream last night, which had no viewers, but you know what, we made you. Oh nice, One Piece. That's actually a series I don't really off. It's so long, and when you're not like the average anime fan, then I couldn't even imagine beginning. I will be completely honest. But I have heard good things about it. But yeah, this is kind of the build we're doing the walls for. This is another build I did a few days ago, and then I wanted to make it bigger. So yeah, here we have it. Wall. Where was I? There. Just the thought of being on episode 119, and I know a lot of series have a lot of like episodes, but just the oh, it's just a lot. And like again, I've heard amazing things about One Piece. I think it's just I know how many episodes there are, and that just scares me. And it's not the series that scares me, it's more so the fact that people spend so much time watching it, because again, there is a fuck ton of episodes. So yeah, it's just a lot. And then also the fact that I don't really watch that many series, but that's another thing. That's where was it? Over here. What did I do here? I can't really do the same. I'm going to cheat a little bit. And now we just need to essentially copy all of this and remove that and remove that, and we are going to be copying this one up as well by 2 blocks, because then we can do this. It was either Naruto, Dragon Ball Z, and I picked One Piece. I am. What's good to say? Honestly, just check the time watching it. It was. I was trying to call me first, but then it just. Yeah, that's fair. I like, it's not because I haven't watched long series myself. That's not it at all. It's just the thought of starting something that long It's insane. So let's copy up to you. Now what we're going to do is we're going to be removing you, we're going to be removing you. We're essentially going to be removing anything we don't need, just to make sure we don't fuck something up. And that includes all of the different textures of block. Now we remove you, we remove you, we remove you, we remove you. Oh shit, I copied a lot. Like so. Now we just have the design that we made. Now what we're going to do is we're going to take this, we're going to flip it, we're going to rotate it, and then we're just going to move it into place. And that's how easy it is. Like, it's not rocket science. And like so, we've done that. Now what we can do is we can copy from there to here, rotate that, and just fucking move it. Rotate again. Make sure everything is lined up properly. It is. And like so. Now we have the outline of our wall. Now all we need to do is add these pillars down the same way we did it out here. Figure out something to do with the walls so they don't look too bland. I am actually, 2 seconds. I am considering kind of doing the same in terms of this, but instead of having end rods, because, and this is something that is only like relevant because of how I take the pictures. You need to go way down. So, whoops. Let's just add 2 more just because. Alright, so this is a lesson in... Oh shit, that's loud. 2 seconds, I want to hear that again. Right, that wasn't too loud on screen. I just had to re-listen to that from the stream because I was like, oh shit, was that way too loud? Luckily it wasn't. It was quite manageable, but fucking hell, that scared the shit out of me. Right, so what we're going to do is we're going to add these. We need more of these. Way more. Honestly, we're going to add them on top. Then we're going to replace there, replace there. And then we're just going to copy them along. So we have what? Android, then we have that. Now what we need to do is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. So again, this is only relevant because of how I take my pictures in this game. And just to make it fair, we're going to add, actually, Also, we need another light source. What emits light? No, it'll just soul lantern, because I use those a lot. And then, where do we have my trapdoors? We have my trapdoors right there. Stack. And then stack. I could have saved myself all this trouble had I literally just... Oh shit. Hey, I have to do this fucking manually. So this is going to be my little kind of proof, because when I set it to midnight and then turn my shaders on, you can kind of see how obviously there's the different light sources doing their own thing, but if I just block out all of the white lights, which there are a majority of in this game, honestly sure, you can kind of see how these are very warm lights, and this is what I like to play with. We have very warm light over there, and then we have very harsh light, and on the top we kind of have these spires that glow. That is the end rods, but I want to kind of play with the light temperature essentially, and to do that, because back here we have very cold light, so I was wondering whether or not I should add warm light to the front or whether to keep it cold. So yeah, that's basically just what I am wondering right now. Let's just... Also, this circle seems incredibly small considering that this is the wrong direction. Considering that this fucking castle is inside. Which is not lit up in any way, like... This is how it looks without night vision. Which is why I typically, when I am building... there we go. Have night vision, because then I can build without problem. So yeah. Also over here we kind of have a few templates for another build I've done. This was essentially to like record a tips and tricks video that I am not releasing because I hate the quality of the recording. So yeah, this is just kind of a legacy of that. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. Over here. Also, thank you. I have spent 15 hours on this current build. And, well, give me a second. Don't worry, I haven't left the stream. I am just... Oh yeah, this. I need to jot down those coordinates. Was it 3? I want to show this one. Now keep in mind, I don't know how long I spent on this. Because I did it over like a school break, so I just kind of did it. And with shaders, it looks gorgeous. Now let's go visit my favorite build of them all. This one. And then over here we have like a little temple kind of hidden away. But yeah, so central palace. Over here we kind of have like merchants coming in, agriculture, mining, a giant quarry. This is 100% real, totally just normal ore generation. I've actually not done anything to this cave. This is 100% natural ore generation in Minecraft 1.21.1. So that's how I did all this off cam. And then over here we have kind of like the military complex. Because, yeah, when you work in the military, you don't deserve human rights. So this is your sleeping quarters. Then we have 3 of these. I think it's like 1,400 something people that this entire military complex can hold, but that's also counting the underground barracks for the people that actually have a few human rights. They have 2 blocks more. Like, they have a lot of space. I'm being very generous. And we have not just this ground floor, we have 1. This is the 2nd. This is the 3rd, 4th, 5th, and 6th floor. Times that by like a few, by like, what, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's 6 by 6, by however many there were down there. Then over here we have a bit of like a very small kitchen, but yeah, you know, only some of them deserve to eat. I will be completely honest. I haven't seen Attack on Titan, so I have no idea how it looks. 2 seconds, I'll have to look that up. Whoops. I don't ever want to see the Minecraft splash finger licking again. That is so inappropriate for this Christian Minecraft server. I can't believe that that Minecraft would allow something like this. AOT Paradis. Well, is it Southeast Asian inspired? Oh. Yeah, is it that like walled in city? Yeah. I will now give a little confession. The reason I build these big as fuck things is because I cannot build small. I cannot do it. It pisses me off. Like, this is like one of the smallest things I can build without me thinking it looks like shit. One of the... I actually have this one as a schematic, so let me just find that. It's... where do we have it? It's out here somewhere. Mountain Tower. There we go. This was one of the first builds I ever did. And like... I think this looks horrible now. But mainly because of how small it is. Like... if I had the... By the way, I made everything including the mountain, which you can obviously tell by how shit the mountain looks. But essentially, this thing would look so much better if I made it a lot bigger. The only problem is, I used to be amazing at building, like in that typical medieval style that every Minecraft builder loves. I can't do that anymore. Like, I physically cannot build in that style anymore. It's a problem. I can only build in Southeast Asia now. Huh? I am so far away from Southeast Asia. Like, how the fuck did this happen? But yeah. So, this is kind of like the only style I can comfortably build in right now. So yeah, let's just focus on like the big ass builds. And also another thing, I can't build small, so so all of those small houses that's dotted about, I would actually throw myself off a bridge. Then you need to tell your Wi-Fi that it is grown up enough to be able to take care of that itself, and doesn't need to inform you about it, and doesn't need to make it your problem. So yeah, that's just... I need to put it there, but then it only leaves a 1 block gap. What did I do over here? Oh, I encased the opening. One? Like this? But no, then it doesn't connect. What the fuck? Did I break these? And just place them there? That's illegal. But it works. So I don't give a shit. Doesn't need to be good. Just needs to work. I've already done this one over here, meaning... what? Yeah, I'll just do the same old trick. So... from here to here. Whoops. Whoopsie daisy. Flip, rotate. Right, so copy from here. Yeah, sure. Let's say hi to him. I actually didn't know that would make a cat face. That's hilarious. Right, so copy from that to that. Oops. To that. Let's just copy it all. Makes it easier on myself. Actually, I don't need to do that. If I line that up there, it fits. Rotate you. You fits. And now for the last one. Like that. Right, so the main part of our build is now complete, and I can no, I can't. I need to figure out what to place in those like spaces there. Oh god, this is gonna be annoying. Smiling Friends, isn't that like that old like YouTube horror kids show? Or is that Happy Treehouse Friends? Smiling Friends. No, I haven't watched Smiling Friends. Again, I don't watch a lot of a lot of series. I started on The Blacklist a bit of a while ago. Never really. I haven't finished it. I'm in like season 4 or 5 or some shit like that. I've watched Downton Abbey, The Crown, a lot of shows like that a few times. If it makes it any better, I've actually seen a bit of Smiling Friends through like YouTube shorts and shit like that. But yeah, that's about my extent of the knowledge. Right, so now we get to do some math, because we need to find the exact middle of every single one of these quadrants. Yay! So what we're going to do is we're going to put my being a major in economics and math to use, and we are actually just going to copy this. Nope. We are going to be copying all of it. Because I don't want to do this shit. I really don't. So we're just going to copy this, move it over here, and oh shit, I'm scrolling a lot. Yeah, let's move it up by 1, like so. And we are only going to be finding the middle point of these 4, which should be easy, I say, and cry a bit inside. So let's see how long from that to that is 34. From that to that is 31. Meaning it goes from 34 to 31, meaning 32. It's within this section. No, 31 to 34. That should mean it's about there. How wide is it on average? 16, yay, 2 block center. I'm gonna kill myself. All of them have a 2 block center. 17. 17. This is all a 2-block fucking center. I am not impressed. Oh, why did I do this to myself? Everything I do relies on the fact that there's a fucking 1-block center. Why, hello! I might actually cry. I won't, but fucking hell. This is... Oh shit. You know what, I can actually do something else. Hello, how are you? Right, so... we need to... Fucking hell. First off, let's set you to that. Right, so... I'm sorry if I... So that's about the so that's the visual middle there. I'm not gonna do any math, because right now math has kind of betrayed me. So I'm going after visual middle. Is that too high up? It is. Needs to be like there. You know what? If I'm doing this anyway, I might as well do something else. So from you to you, from you to you. Like, if I'm gonna cheat anyway, I might as well. Oops. Oh, yeah, I could not imagine the walk that it requires in the US with your non-walkable cities. I say as I laugh in European. But yeah, that's rough. That's actually rough. Oh, I can literally just Why? Why did that move my shit? Oh. There. Now we can move it over. There we go. He spent 2 hours walking. Where did he go? Did he visit me? Because I didn't hear a knock at the door. It's not so much that, one, yes, Europe is smaller, but it's also because we actually, you know, care for our citizens. So we have cities that are easy to traverse. Even if you don't have a 2,000-pound death machine. I say as I am currently looking in to the I say that as I'm currently very actively looking to get myself a 2,000-pound death machine. So yeah, I'm probably not like the best source of morality on that point, but you know what? It's that's irrelevant. So flip. Let's line this up over here. Now we remove these so I don't get confused. Right, so we now have all the middle pinpointed. I am going to be putting those in a red. Oops, you shouldn't get moved. Righty, so again, let's copy from there all the way over to this, and then just I'm sick and tired of especially because I had an essentially free travel card because I'm a student who lives not at home, and at home legally is technically defined by living with your parents at this age and whilst you're at this level in your education. So legally I should have, well, legally, but I should be permitted to have a youth travel card. However, they just changed a few of the requirements, and I am no longer qualified for it. Meaning, I have to pay. I don't actually. It's not that much of a difference for me in terms of getting to work or in terms of getting to school, because I literally live on campus. That's one of the reasons why I chose to live where I do. It's because it would be easy in terms of transport. However, in terms of me going to like Copenhagen, or if I have like any plans that aren't purely work or school, then I cannot easily get there without a car. So whilst I was already looking into the possibilities of getting one, I really need one now. So here in the US we have an emancipation from minors who want to be independent of their parent. Right? Yeah, that's we here in Denmark we have a system where you can start taking your driver's license at, I think it's about 16 or 17, and then like you get to take what's essentially known as like a child's card at like 16 or 17, which allows you to drive your car if you have an adult who's had a driver's license for like more than 10 years, I think it is, in the car, and they need to be sober and aware and all this. And then when you turn 18, you go up to essentially like prove that you still know shit and still can drive a car. And then when you get the adult license, you can drive like an adult. It has recently come out that for, I think it's the first year or 3 years or some shit like that, then you cannot have a blood alcohol percentage of more than like, I can't remember it exactly, but it's essentially you cannot have drank anything that day. So it's not like a glass of wine with dinner and then go out to drive. No, you can't do that if you're within that like first period of you having your card. And that's purely like protection of like drunk drivers and people who just want a car to like go to parties and shit like that and put other people at risk, and also so that people who very very young people who do that they can get a punishment befitting the crime, because they are not only inexperienced compared to other drivers, but they are also affected cognitively. So yeah, it's there's a lot of rules on it, and it's changing constantly. All I know is that I am over 18. I could literally start tomorrow if there was a course near me that had a had a course starting tomorrow, or like, you know what I mean. So yeah, like here you can also in some way get like emancipated from your parents, and but that would require, but you still need to have a legal guardian. But the way that you can then get around that is by essentially going up, fighting your case, and then getting the state as your legal guardian. But that would then require you having your I was about to call it a case servant, but no, who your caseworker to sign anything that a parent would normally sign. Another thing you can do is, in the case that a parent dies while the child is very young, you can, for example, other surviving family can seek what's known as værgemål. Værgemål is essentially just that the, for example, an aunt of the person can seek to gain some sort of parental rights over the child without taking the parental status legally from the other parent. However, you can also seek to take the parental status from the other parent if you are just other family, but that would also require the child's consent. So it's very complicated, it's very, very boring, and all I know is that it works until it doesn't. Because that's kind of what we found out, like Denmark has a lot of safety nets for children, for the surviving family members of deceased persons and shit like that. But we just continually found out that there were a lot of me-sized holes in those safety nets, and I just fell through every single one. Like, I've been getting screwed over every step of the way, and you know what? It's finally fucking finished, and I don't have to think about it anymore. There are like everything regarding all of those processes, they're done. I don't have to think about anything like that anymore. I am finally free of having to think about the Danish state. Except for the fact that I'm not, because I live in Denmark. So yeah, but other than that, I don't have to think about what the fuck's going on. Whoops, wrong button. So, let's take a look at what we've done. So this is the base wall. It is looking very bland right now. And then obviously on the inside, it looks much the same. With all of the like entrances. We should finish school. We've made life a lot easier. Thankfully, I can get my GED. What's a GED? Because GED in Danish means goat. Like the. Yeah, so all I read there was, thankfully I can get my goat. Suck, I can't do math though. And I was like, are you gonna become a farmer in Ireland, or like, because that's the funny thing about like translation errors. Yeah. Alright, so we need to figure out what to place here, and I am kind of... I do actually have an idea in mind, but I think I'll actually do a 7x7 if I have the space for that. let's just check. Once that would be 3x3, 5x5, 7x7, 3x3, 5x5, 7x7. I actually do have the space to do it. On all of them, 3x3, 5x5, 7x7, 3x3, 5x5, 7x7. I actually have the space to do a 7x7 on all of them, so that's what I'm going to do. Then we have that, then we're going to add some black wool, so yeah. Actually no, we're gonna make this white wool because... Actually no, we're not. GD in the US is tested outside of high school, usually for dropouts and such. It's a serious test and costs money and involves the 4 core subjects: history, English, science, and sadly math. Alright, so that's actually very similar to a Danish program. So in Denmark, we have this thing called gymnasium. Now the gymnasium is the closest thing we have to like the typical American high school, and in the gymnasium you kind of have like the different a few different options. You have the econ, which is what I'm in. I'm in what's called the business school. I was about to say trade school because literal translation is trade and then just school. But trade school is, funnily enough, a totally different thing, which you can also take. Then we have the typical, just normal continuation of normal school. And then we have something called HF or HF. Don't really know what it stands for, but essentially that's only 2 years compared to 3 years, and you just take one subject at a time, as far as I understood it. And when you're doing it like that, then one, you don't have to be in school for as long. This is very helpful for people trying to become like elder care, and then just going on to get to the trade school that can teach them what they need to know, but still need the diploma to say that they finished gymnasium. Also, don't mind me, I am purely pulling shit out my ass. I don't know how this is going to look. Probably like shit. I already do not like this. What we need... I think I need to create like a small pillar and then place something on top so that this becomes sort of like a pedestal. Here in Denmark, like, you can just start work at like a gas station without having finished your gymnasium, and then just progress up through there and just switch jobs, so you are not dependent on having the education. However, it definitely makes your life a lot easier. For example, you cannot get into any university of any kind without having your gymnasium degree. You cannot get into any sort of further education that's supposed to take place after the gymnasium without having your the last steps degree, and that will eventually fall back on the gymnasium. So yeah. And in most cases, you'll also need to be able to provide proof of your score average. Now, the way this score average works is very, very weird. how did this become me talking about like how the Danish school system works? Where the fuck is the book and quill? Book and quill. So essentially in Denmark we have there's nothing wrong in going to college late. Like, that's just a part of life for many people. Different shit comes at different times in life. So that's 4, that's 7, that's 10, that's 12. So these are all the grades you can get in Denmark. And then when you've finished your school year, let's say you have, then you just put all of them together, and then you get essentially just take the average. That's called a snit. The direct translation of that is called a cut. And what many, for example, to get into the gymnasium, you need to have a cut of I think it's 5 right now. They are trying to lower it. I think it's to either 2.5 or 3.5. But there are some universities where you need a cut of 11 to get in, which would mean that you have to get the top grade almost every single time, or at least have them spread out very, very favorably towards 12, but then only have these 2 grades. This is very needing a cut of 11 isn't very common. That would be something for like the most prestigious, most like popular schools, because they need to filter out a lot of people, so they might as well do that by saying, hey, you need a cut this high to be like even considered. But most schools will have like a cut of between 5 to 8. My current one is 9. My current one is 9.75. So like I'm not too worried about all of this. But yeah, that's essentially how the Danish school system works, and how you get accepted into shit. But if you don't have proof of your last cut, then you cannot get into the next step of education. Meaning, if you drop out at any point, you will need to retake the entire thing to then get the cut you need to go further. So yeah, that's a little bit of how the Danish school system works. Yeah, 60 and below is failing, 7 is higher. It's passing. Oh, that's weird. Can I? Where is it located? There we go. So essentially, how it works is, now I just need to draw them all up again. So essentially, -3 is you didn't turn in your assignment, or it was so bad you might as well have not. So, and this kind of functions as like you are being punished on your other grades for having failed so miserably. Essentially, because a -3 will make a 12 a 9. It will literally make the top grade lower than the grade below it. So yeah, it's rough. 0 is essentially just not passing. It's not gonna add anything. It's not gonna subtract anything. It's just you don't get any reward out of that. 02 that's passing in many subjects. Some subjects will have it as a 4. The 4 is seen as a middle grade. 7 is seen as a higher middle grade. 10 is seen as a low top grade, and 12 is the high top grade. So essentially, these are so these down here, you failed. Then we have you passed, you're in the middle, you're in the top. That's essentially how that works. What the fuck is a credit? What the fuck is a credit? Like, I didn't know we were contacting my bank just to get me a fucking education. I know it's the US, but keep my fucking bank out of this. Alright, so this is the waxed. Yep. The Brazilian waxed oxidized copper bulb. Don't ask me why I said that, I have no idea. Just gonna add a little bit of centralized lighting, because this is not going to... Yeah, that's because I am using something called common sense, something that the US education system clearly cannot. I actually need more light out of that. That was not what I expected. Let's just... Let's try these two, see which one works best. This one. Like, the US is one of the only countries on Earth that has managed to take education and completely fuck it up the arse every single day. No lube, no protection, just straight up raw dogging that shit till to compliance. Like, it doesn't work. It is pure hate fucking at this point. Like, it's purely to be like, hey, look what we can do. We can fuck up everything at once. Like, no shit, you've done it for the last 250 fucking years. So from kindergarten to 12th grade, you earn credits from your grades. If you get a total at least by the end of the year. How do you earn credits? That's like my main question, because we don't have that yet. Essentially, from kindergarten to the time you graduate in high school, the only thing that really matters is if you have like, if you did well in class that year. Like, you aren't going to be haunted by previous year's failures, unless that means that there's something you didn't learn that's necessary for that year's completion. So for an example, if you didn't turn in your history homework, that's not going to mean you can't fucking graduate. But if you didn't learn your times tables, that might mean you can't progress to the next grade and need to retake that year. Grade assignments, every single test and piece of homework counts to grade, and the grade... Yeah, that's fair. Like, I still don't understand, but that's just because it's American. I know I'm shitting a lot on America, and I hope you know I mean it very, very personally, not towards you, but towards the US. So yeah, let's just... These ones... Let's just move that over there, that over there, and that over to there. Right, so we now have our monument that's going to be placed everywhere. Although I am going to add some red, because this is very, very much the same color all around. And I do not like that. So we are going to add red here. And then add red. Would this work? Yeah, it actually does. Right. Yeah, like the thing is, the US, and this may sound very, very radical to some people, but the thing about the US is it's a broken system from the very fucking beginning. Like, it was never about anything other than fucking profit. So the entire thing is just meant to fail. It's set up so that you can't win. It is a complete failure as an education system from the beginning. It is a complete failure as a democracy from the beginning. It is a complete failure as a country from the beginning. It is a third world country in a Gucci belt. That's all it is. The only redeemable quality about the US is that it still exists. It still has time to change. But I have a sneaking suspicion that under current administration, or under the current administration, that's not going to change. It's actually only going to get much, much worse, because the person in charge is the one directly profiting from it, either by private relations or by his station. And that's not supposed to happen. Our prime minister, actually they're called the state minister here in Denmark, they, although they earn far too much compared to what they're allowed to, we also have a lot of checks and balances to ensure that shit doesn't go too wrong. Now, is that to say that Denmark is a fucking utopia? No, it's not. We have a lot of fucking problems logistically and administratively. Our education ministry is literally fucking us over a lot as they're trying to basically modernize and adapt to a lot of the changes that come out. We have a three-part government right now that's fucking horrible. They cannot decide on one singular decision, and it just leads to overall bad shit. So yeah, we have a lot of problems of our own, but the thing is, we don't go about bombing other countries as a way to increase our own popularity. What we will do to increase our own popularity is maybe not kill as many people, or not join foreign wars. If we want to be friends with the US, then we will join foreign wars. If we don't want to be friends with the US, we won't. It's simple as that. Right now, we are in a position where the US is frankly a high school bully out of an American movie. Very fucking fitting. So we are not playing ball with them. We are actively trying to rid ourselves of American influence in our day-to-day life. Like, plenty of apps and Facebook groups have come out to try and essentially say, okay, so any product that is made in the US will be posted in here so that you can avoid it. Like, the US worked so well as a country when it had everyone under the illusion that it worked well. Since that illusion shattered because of one president that made it his goal to take the presidency and make it into his own personal kingdom, then, and only then, did the rest of the world kind of realize, hey, maybe the US isn't so much of a fantasy and more of a fucking nightmare. The only way I can describe the US as a fantasy is as a dark romance, and the US is the male protagonist that's just fucking raping the rest of the world for money and resources. And I am sorry about the little tangent I just went on. I don't know what set me off. But yeah. That is going to be cut out of the VOD because I don't want to be cancelled before I even start on YouTube. The only people who would cancel me for that are the people who believe in it, and honestly, those fuckheads can suck my cock. Your passport gets taken? What? I am way too European for how America is acting right now. Honestly, if you could, I would advise that you seek asylum. And I know that's not very easy. No, not asylum. That's try to go as a refugee, but that's only in active war zones. I don't know how the rules are currently with like the US, but I do know that it has been up in discussion. Where like people coming from the US, they can essentially get like special permits because of how the US is acting towards human rights currently. Essentially, like if they flee into like Mexico or Canada and then get moved to Europe or another country. I can't remember what country was that talked about it, but I do remember there was up in discussion to essentially make these rules so that people could actually have a chance of their human rights being upheld. And the trans folk who are getting forced to stay. What? Oh yeah, I fucking remember hearing about that. It's fucking horrible what's happening. It's there's no other way to describe it. It's literally just And this is the thing, like the US was never democracy. It started off as a theocracy. It has since become an oligarchy that bends theocracy over its knee. Yeah, I would also prefer Canada if I was you, but that's mostly because of the fact that actually I would prefer Mexico because of the heat, but I would prefer Canada because of one simple reason, and that would be the fact that I would be having laughing myself to death every single day just hearing the accents. Because yeah, I'm evil like that. So yeah. But yeah, the US is currently just throwing a fucking hissy fit. Because no one wants to play with them after they pissed in everyone's fucking cereal. Like... Oh, I'm made for heat. I can't handle the cold very well. So, yeah. I tend to prefer places that are warm. Also, I do think that we are done with this soon. All I need to do when I've added this in is move the wall over to the designated spot, and then after that I am going to fence off any of the openings that are blocked off because of a build. Or for any other reason for that matter. Right. So we're going to take one final look at the build, or like at the wall, before I move it to where it needs to go. So, are we ready to do this? Honestly, that doesn't look half bad. It's very simple, it's very plain, but then again, this isn't like the main focus. This is just like whoops, the outer wall. So let's just move this to where it needs to go. And we need to... Oh, we can actually keep that. That would actually make it a lot easier. So from you, all... You know what, I am actually 2 seconds. I am just gonna do that. Pick you. And then move all of this shit. I do think it is gonna clip here. I hope it's not. And yeah, the rhythmic clicking is... I was actually also getting very, very relaxed by that. Because, yeah, it's always just amazing to have like rhythmic clicking. Wait, you know what? We actually need to prepare a bit first, because remove that. Yeah. Whoops. In the meantime, we can kind of just like remove these over here. This is kind of when I wish I had like the ability to unlock the scroll wheel on my mouse, so I could literally just sit with like a can of air and just not touch my mouse and just move it like 1,000 blocks a second. But unfortunately, I can't unlock my mouse and I don't have a can of air. So yeah, I wouldn't be able to do it either way, but it's still like, jeez. Right, so it's getting into place. This is the straight edge. Right, let's take a look. Right, so this opening will be closed off. This one is open, this closed off, this open, this closed off. So yeah, everything looks alright. Fucking yes, it doesn't clip it. Everything looks to be good. So I am going to do that. And over here, I love how you can see where it was. I'm just going to take a picture of that. And then we are going to remove any trace of us being here. Nope, not like that. There we go. Alright, let's take a look at it head on. Wait, no, let's remove these out here because I actually do not want to have them. Yeah, it actually did look like one of those crop circles. Right, so let's take a look at it from this direction because we are now almost perfectly aligned in the middle. Are we ready? It has now become nighttime. Alright, that looks fucking sick. Like, this is fucking amazing. And the best part is now I am much closer to being done with it. All I now need to do is add something in these kind of like weird shapes. This is going to be like gardens, ponds, seating, things like that. Essentially just like space for people to relax. Then in here we need something else. I haven't decided yet. And then we also need to figure out some sort of a lighting going down these walls. I am thinking like lanterns, torches, shit like that. And then up here on this floor, having a statue. Crosswalk. What? Yeah, but I don't think this is like the build for it. If I can find a statue that will fit within this top part, then I will put it. Obviously, I'll also give proper credits whenever I do post this online. But yeah. Oh yeah, this is a remnant of me having only made one end of the roof. Also, before we go for today, I will just leave you with probably one of my favorite views. Like, look at that. Honestly, no, I won't leave you for today, because I am actually not done with it. Because I just realized that only one end of, or only one of these have the lights, and that's actually just not acceptable. So we're going to copy from there all the way down to here. Also, why are these double? All of those ones double? Weird. Anyway. So all of this, rotate, obviously move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it, move it. I like to move it. And then just 1, 2 whips, like so. Now that's in place. Rotate again. I literally cannot wait till this is finished. Also, I will also show you the top-down view of that one over there, because that's also just stunning. And it's actually one of the reasons why I love building very symmetrically, because the top-down view is just fucking gorgeous. Right, so now we can take a look at the top-down view. Let's make it midnight very quickly. Just like, come on. And if we just go like that, that's fucking amazing. Like, this is one of the main reasons why I build the way I do. Also, just take a look. Now I'm literally just bragging, but like, look at how this fucking build looks. It's very simple compared to the other one. It's very small compared to the other one. But this is also just stunning. I will also show where I placed it in the other world. And then top down over here. If I can land on the end drop. Oh, it's not done, that one over there. It's far from done. But it's done for now. Also, those roofs, I'm still so fucking proud of them. But no. Trust me, I tried doing that in The Sims, but I don't have a NASA computer. And I tried doing that in The Sims many, many years ago. This one. So let's just make it midnight. Also, my computer is struggling. I just tried to put the microphone very close to the computer so you could hear it fucking die. And you couldn't hear that, but essentially this is how it looks. I also decided to make this bridge for it, but this is where I decided to paste it. I think I'm gonna have to paste the castle like on one of these mountains. I'm kind of considering like over here somewhere, if there's a space that's big enough to for me to paste it. I think I'm actually going to make this big enough. And then of course we have like an old build I didn't finish. Just kind of chilling. Question. Would you want me to kind of just like show you some of the builds I've done in here? I've already shown you the Desert Temple and the Cherry Empire, obviously also what we've been working on today. But would you want me to show you some of the other things I've made in this world? Parallels. It is called a Parallels now. No refunds, that's just the name. So yeah, welcome to the Air Parallels. I am the avatar, in fact, if you couldn't tell, because there's only one person in this entire world. Right. Also, this is literally just the color palette of what I had in mind building down here, but I decided not to build that and instead just paste this in. Which, honestly, this looks fucking gorgeous in the water. And yes, the bridges are unfinished, because all I did was I decided to take the pictures in such a way that you couldn't see the ends of the bridge. So yeah. But would you want me to show you around the world? Oh, my computer does not like me playing with shaders. Adventure. I'm taking that as a yes. So, over here. No, actually, let's start upwards. Let's start up here. This is the first build I made in this world. It is, you can clearly see I've come very far. Let's just set it to noon so you can actually see what's going on. So this was the first build I made. You kind of walk up. Let's just make sure I don't lose all of those. You kind of walk up. You get to about here. And this opens automatically. Then we have this room in here. That closes up. We have a few signs that say nothing because this world got corrupted a bit a while ago. And then up here we have the portal to go back. I'm quite sure if I go through this one we get to... Nope. That's why it had a cross over it. So this one I abandoned because I didn't see anything worth doing there. Here we have it. So this is a big room I haven't decided on what to do with. I have night vision, why can't I see shit? Anyway, let's go up here. Then we have this room, which is a massive dining room. Wi-Fi, yay, we love that shit. Fun fact, I have reused this exact room I think 3 or 4 times. So yeah. Then out here, oh, that's there. That's embarrassing. Whoops. But yeah, I made like a little village. Made a bit of a quarry. Little farmhouse, little other farmhouse. Nothing too special. So yeah, and apparently over here we have a cathedral I began building a few days ago and decided I didn't like, and that's why I started like the giant labyrinth castle thing. Oh god, where did I put the... There. Aww. Why do you feel like you're in a toxic relationship with your Wi-Fi? Then here we have another build that I haven't finished. If you can't tell, this is not natural spawn generation. This is going to be like some sort of dwarven empire, kingdom, stuff like that. So yeah. That hasn't been finished. What have I finished, actually? Now I'm curious. This one over here I have finished, I know that. I'm actually very proud of these walls. I fucking love them. Like, fucking look at this detail. That's just... I'm still proud of these. I really am. And if we make it midnight... Like, this is why I play so much with light blocks when I build. It's because of shit like this. Like, look at how it like glows and just looks intimidating. Obviously did a little bit of work on the mountain, did a little bit of work on the ice, made this shit. These torches I love building everywhere. This is... What the fuck happened to my banner? Oh, it's the shader. Alright. Why did I end up on the roof? Alright, what else can I show you? I think I've shown you everything in there. I have shown you that. I've shown you that. I've shown you that. I haven't shown you Atlantis, but that's kind of because that isn't done. This one is literally just a tower. Very, very boring in my opinion. Very, very bland. Just kind of there. This is actually what one of my least favorite builds. But one of the things I do like is the fact that with the shaders, it just looks so fucking sketchy. Like, you can't see shit. This would make for a good horror. Then we get a little bit of light, and then once we reach here, we have like a little meeting room, giant window, good view. We have pumpkins. And then once we reach all the way to the top, we kind of have this little chamber. And if we want to get back, we have to step in here. Like, it's bad that the thing I like most about a build is the way to get out of it. But yeah, that is all of my builds. I think, I'm quite sure. I don't think I have any other, because yeah, the one that's this way, yeah, that's just this one. Right, so that is all of the builds I have in this world. If I just quickly do then, oh, this is an old project. This is something I worked on many, well, not many years ago, about a few years ago. I have completely abandoned it. This is the first time in forever I'm opening this up. But as you can see, I took a lot more care with like the interior also, just kind of decorating, making it pretty. We will go down there later, but right now we're staying within the house. Because what's important is why the fuck those are there. I don't know. Anyway, over here we have like servants' quarters, lords' quarters. The lords' quarters are very, very big. Then we have up here, is it also the lords? Yeah, it's also just lords' quarters. Obviously with a little bit of storage. In here we have one of the greenhouses. Over on the other side, this is, oh, this is down to the servants. We'll take a look at them later. Over on the other side here, we are going to have the servants' quarters. Yep, these are very small, very petite. No, leave bed. And then we have the other greenhouse, and obviously it's the not the same upstairs because this is the overseer's quarters. This is the people that essentially like the butler and the head maid. Well, I'm up streaming because I couldn't sleep, so I just decided why the fuck not. In here, don't know what I had intended there. It's a fucking room. Live with it. More rooms, more rooms. The entrance isn't anything special either. That's literally just in here. You walk in, you go through a little bit of like a few things. Then you're greeted with like a staircase that looks like this. Yeah. When you go upstairs, you gain access to like the treasure vault. No, you can just look at it because you're poor and I have all this shit. Then obviously we have a cage for people who misbehave. We have a way to get down again. Same stairs. We have, if we go up one more level, then we have, and go around, then we have a little bit of a dining room. And over here, we have the ballroom with a fucking altar on top. I don't know what that's for, I just know it's there. And obviously, we also have an aquarium with all the fish over here trying to escape. None of them want to be here in the middle. So yeah, that's fun. Servants' quarters. Over here we have a way to get up into the dining room I showed earlier. But kind of like behind it, servants, racks, food elevator, stuff like that. If we go all the way down to the bottom here, we have... I'm surprised I even remember all of this. I haven't opened this world in forever. Went to bed early and woke up around 20... yeah, that's typical for trying to actually do something good. Waking up early after actually trying. But here we have the servants' quarters for the servants that don't deserve human rights. So, all the Americans. Plus they're used to long days, so they won't mind. I can already tell you what's down there. This is a dining room. This is a dining room for the servants. Can you tell? I think you've seen this before. This is the world I originally designed this dining room for. I just kind of stole it for other builds because I liked it so much. Obviously we also have the greenhouses over here. We have like the general outline and shit like that. Then over here, this is like the last part of the build. It's a little cave that goes down and down and down, and whoop, you're in the family graveyard. Little mausoleum to herein lies of Child of the Golden Sun something, a few gravestones, a few nameplates that are blank. They must really have been unimportant for them to put a namestone but leave it blank. Then obviously we have the in-ground mausoleum where we have a few family graves, also blank names, and we have space. This actually looks quite dope. The other ones, this one I'm not too much of a fan of, and this one I'm also not too much of a fan of, but this one we have space for quite a few dead people. So yeah, this is the entire build. This was built back when Axiom didn't exist, and the only way to make mountains was to use the brush sphere from World Edit, which would end up looking like this. But you know what? It worked. We made do back then. Also, what's this? I think I recognize this from another build. I'm just curious. Yes, I know I've used this one, like this exact design in another build too. That's the fun thing about, like, when I build shit, I steal it for other builds as well. Like, I made it, I'm gonna use it multiple times. Who cares? Who gives a shit? Then we have me stealing floor designs off of Pinterest. Me starting to steal another floor design off Pinterest and then completely stopping. Here we have me, the original design of the mausoleum with the Child of the Golden Sun. Wow. Oh yeah, I completely forgot about this. I don't know what use this has, but it's here. I know I have at least... That was the wrong button. I know I have at least 2 other build worlds I want to show. Build test. Nope, wrong world. This is... That's literally just a shit world. Right. Final world, I think this is. So over here we have sort of like a little bank thing. Haven't done any work on the interior except for up here, where I kind of made like a little office. We will get to that later. But as you can see right now we're over here. Oh, it's a town hall, I completely forgot. We will take a look at this, the Temple of Souls. We'll take a look at this, which is abandoned, and then finally we will take a look at this over here, which is the Black Mansion. I'm very creative when it comes to naming things, because firstly, let's take a look at this. This is literally just practice in building small houses and actually putting stuff in them. But as you can see by the fact that there's only 4 houses, that didn't go very well. Oh yeah, I also started other shit. I forgot. Then down here we have a little bit of a merchant's place. Horses. We're actually gonna go up over here, because then we have access to the guard towers once through here. But we're gonna go all the way up right now, because up here we then have the kind of like the Overwatch to look at stuff. But once we're tired of that, we can go back down here. We can then go down into the little courtyard. And now we're in the Temple of Souls. Why is it called the Temple of Souls? They're soul lanterns. That's the only reason I named it this. Then we make our way up. We step on the roof. And now we're here in a little fucking bland room. Fun fact, I completely forgot that this was here. Which is, I have no idea what, it's some sort of meeting room, live with it. And then we also have this up here, which is something that doesn't work anymore. Oh, weird. So yeah, this is that's this build. Then up here we kind of have me working on something I was trying to design for my survival world. I have completely abandoned this for now, but I will revisit it at a later point. This is another design I wanted to try. Never did more on it. Then here we kind of have me just starting something and never finishing it, very typical for me. And then over here we have the Black Mansion. Obviously has a giant gate in front, but if we make it past the gate, very clever, and take a look at the beautiful waterfall, and then if I can remember how to get through this maze, which that wasn't it. Here, then we have a little bit of a campsite, and on the other side we have a little private pool. Over here we have some stables for some horses. We have a little bit of a gazebo thing, which I actually really love the design of. I love this sort of swerving or swooping look. Was the face intentional? What face? Oh, that one? Yeah, no, that wasn't intentional. If we go inside, there's not really a lot. We actually only have a little throne I built because I'm a narcissist. And then we have all the different pot designs. Yeah. So that's all of my building worlds, if I'm not completely mistaken. Sure, I can show that one. I see Mountain Island keeps before it's water. What water? No, not really. No worlds after the streams. And I can show this one because this one's built using a quite interesting world. This is built using like one of those weird world generation settings in Minecraft. And then I decided to build this shit. Yeah, that's it. This I didn't build. This is natural terrain generation. This is, yeah. Oh wait, you were commenting on something else. 2 seconds, what did you comment on? Gimmick build. Oh, now I need to think. I mean, I can build a hammer, but I don't want to get banned off Discord or off YouTube. You know what? We're gonna make it in white so it's not so noticeable. There. I do actually really like how this generated over here, with all the chains and stuff. That looks awesome. But no, I don't really think about that because I more so prefer building stuff like this, which is also where we're gonna have to end this. I have now been live for over 2 hours. I set aside about 2 hours for this. So this is where we're gonna have to end it. So I really do thank you all for watching, because this has been absolutely amazing. The wait, can I remember that? It is nope. Tab. Oops. Yeah. There we go. So yeah, this we're going to have to end it on this screen because this has been absolutely amazing, and I'm very glad I forgot to turn the screen back on again, because I forgot that I had a tab open that YouTube would not like seeing. So yeah, I'm very glad I forgot to turn the screen on again. But other than all this, other than all that, I thank you so much for staying, and take care. It has been